Hello everyone and welcome in today's PECB webinar. My name is Gzim and I am the account manager for security portfolio at PECB, also the organizer of this webinar. I believe you all know that PECB organizes daily webinars in our 5 portfolios, and every week we organize a webinar on security portfolio covering different topics and areas. In this 30-minute webinar we will hear about ISO 27001, Control A17, Continuity on Information Security, and ISO 22301, Confusing or Relationship. This topic will be hosted from PECB partner and trainer Mrs. Michèle COPITET, who has been working for 10 years on CAP GEMINI company as consultant and project manager, and currently works for her company EGONA-CONSULTING and is accredited trainer for PECB and APMG. I hope you will enjoy this webinar and find it very informative. If you have any question, you can write them in question box in right-hand control panel, or you can use the option to raise your hand and we will answer to all of them accordingly. Please, Michèle, you may continue now.
Thank you, Gizim. Hi, everybody. Thank you to be with us to share this PECB webinar. So first, first we are going to take into account the differences between the two standards. As written, ISO 27001 is an international electronic commitment standard focused on information technology, security techniques, information security. That means that this standard is a part of the standard which the focus is information technology first. And ISO 22301 is a societal security standard. So about business continuity management system. So that means that this standard is a business continuity management, but in a wider context, including business continuity and all the consequences on societal environment. So that means that ISO 27001 is only a focus on the technology, on the information technology, a part of all the business continuity management system. So to develop these topics, ISO 22301 is really more holistic and ensure that your critical business value-generating product or services are up and running at the earliest in case of disruption. So it is very important to notice that for this ISO, you have to know perfectly which are the most critical product or services of your company. This product or services are this one who makes your profit, who are absolutely mandatory to make profit. ISO 27001 is more information infrastructure, focusing on protection of IT assets, supporting the product, services, business processes. So as I told before, this standard is a part of the business process. It's not all the continuity of the process as the other standard. And 27001 standard is generally focused on the security of the information and as control at the end of the standard. And the control A17 is about business continuity management, but there are absolutely no details about the planning, the steps to process, to manage business continuity project. So for both, the main point is business continuity, but only a control for 27001 about business continuity without planning, methodology, or steps. No details about that. So let us read the A17.1 control. So A17.1 objective, information security continuity shall be embedded in the organization business continuity management system. A17.1.1 planning information security continuity controls the organization shall determine its requirements for information security and the continuity of security management in adverse situation, example given disaster. A17.1.3 verify, review and evaluate information security continuity control. The organization shall verify the established and implemented information security continuity control at regular intervals in order to ensure that they are valid and effective during adverse situations. So, in point 1, the standard expresses that security is a main point of business in a normal situation. So these security levels must be almost the same in a continuity situation. Example given, private information are always private information. So that means that to be able to go on critical services or products in a continuity situation, you have to be also compliant with legacy. You have to have security control as if you were, in fact, in a normal situation. A17.1.1 mean that, in fact, the only allowed IT security difference must be defined by the business and express example given in a SLA. So if you want to have less security in your continuity situation, that means that you have to express that really in the SLA and validate this point with the business. And in the A17.1.3, that means that this IT security level must be implemented and tested in the disaster recovery plan. So, to sum up, A17.1.3 means that an organization should enable its information security to continue after an incident, as described, for example, in SLA requirement, to protect the assets. So A17.1 is covered basically by a disaster recovery plan, or what is also called an IT service continuity management plan. But as I told before, absolutely no detail how to implement a disaster recovery plan. ISO 22301, development of more documents and processes like BIA, Business Impact Analysis, Business Continuity Plan, Test and Exercises, Communication Plan, etc. So how to develop, how to run a project for a DRP is in fact explained absolutely in the ISO 22301. Even if in your business continuity management system your scope is only the DRP, these steps like BIA, Business Continuity Plan, Test, Exercises, Communication Plan are absolutely mandatory to make a good project of DRP aligned with the business continuity. Other difference, ISO 27001 focuses on removing vulnerabilities whose exploit can result in an accident for the IT assets, and the other standard focuses on business risk in opportunities more widely. So, ISO 27001 implements only the Information Technologies Continuity Plan, DRP, supporting the business continuity activities in case of disruption. But if you want really your organization becomes resilient, you will need more. You will need to continue the whole supply chain of your services or your critical products. So it is really more wide, really focus on the business to enable the users to go on their processes and to continue to have relationship with your suppliers, etc. So how to do that? ISO 22301 gives really you the how-now. Information security and business. Now we are going to take into account the relationships between the two standards. Information security and business continuity both protect availability, but to confidentiality and integrity of the information. So this is why to include A17 control. Like other, so of course, continuity is directly in relationship with availability, but don't forget that business continuity is the continuity of the whole critical supply chain for societal security, including all the IT security. Example given, during a disaster, privacy legacy is always the same. You must comply with it. So, of course, continuity is a part of availability. But don't forget, if you want to go on your critical business processes, it is very important in a continuity situation to be always compliant, so to protect also all your assets with the confidentiality and integrity. So that means that when you have a project of business continuity, you have to protect absolutely also the criticity of IT assets for availability, confidentiality, and integrity. The other relationship for the two standards. Like other ISO management standards, they are based on Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle. So, of course, if this cycle is implemented for ISO 27001, then it is fully compliant with ISO 22301. And the requirements are approximately the same for to define the scope, to define the leadership, the information, the processes, to ensure that people are the awareness of people, etc. The training of people. All these requirements, in fact, are the same. Risk management too. In fact, the main point for these two standards is the risk management. So the objectives are different for the two standards, but the goal and process, in fact, are similar. And for both, the best risk management guidance is ISO 31000. So, for the conclusion, ISO 27001 should be implemented as planned for, and two controls, A17, the core business continuity elements ISO 22301 should be implemented. So that means that if you follow the steps described into ISO 22301, you are fully compliant to the project and to the control A17. And the contrary also is right. If you have a project to implement ISO 22301, don't forget that for your IT critical assets, you have to secure them and to follow all the controls in security information that are described in the other standards. So, with both standards implemented at the same time, of course with compatible scope, the RP would be compliant with government principles. For instance, aligning IT with business needs as described in, for instance, COBIT 5 DSS04 process, and two, assurance to be compliant with information security control in business continuity activities. So if you have some question.
Okay, thank you, Michèle, for this informative presentation. Of course, we have two questions. The first one is, what could be some of the challenges for companies to implement business continuity process? Can you just briefly describe this?
The challenge to implement business continuity processes, as I told before, it is the resilience of your organization. In case of disruption, you have to go on with your critical processes and to be able to deliver your critical services or products. So it's very important to prepare that, and to prepare that you have to implement the project, to to know what is the continuity strategy and to prepare all the procedure you have to implement in case of disruption. So in fact, ISO 22301 is a good way explain the different steps to implement that and to follow with a project. But the main topic, the main point is really to ensure the resiliency of your company, of your organization.
Okay, the second question is business continuity clearly detailed on ISO 27001 or it does not include all necessary requirements?
In ISO 27001 control A17, you have no detail there are no details to implement, in fact, the continuity. The control is just you have to manage the disaster. You have to implement a solution to continue the activity in case of disruption and to continue to protect your critical IT assets. There are no more details. If you want to know how to do that, and if you want to be sure that your DRP would be really aligned with continuity business, you have to focus on the ISO 22301.
Okay. Thank you, Michèle, for giving us this highly informative presentation. I believe the attendees had the chance to learn many new things today, and I suggest you to take time and see our future webinar that we will be hosting. You can take time and visit our website www.pecb.com and on the webinar section register for our future webinar. Thank you once again and hope to meet you soon in our coming webinars.
Thank you. Bye-bye.